going to close your eyes. Let your body settle. Let your breath become steady. Let your lungs fill up with air. And softly let everything go. Distractions that you face, just let it melt away. And inhale through the nose, and an exhale to release. Get an inhale, and an exhale. Allow your mouth to close and your body to relax. Start to feel the movement, the vibration within the body. Maybe turning your head from side to side. Maybe allowing yourself to feel this organic movement, a sway through the spine. Maybe you start to feel a little twist through the body, allowing yourself to move from one direction and then gently to the other. And start to feel yourself unraveling from this day, from this week, from being at home or being at work. Allow yourself to channel everything into this breath and letting it go. When you're ready, come back to center and allow yourself to lift up through the arms. Reach the fingers to the sky as you exhale, let the arms extend nice and wide, opening your heart space. Again, inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, open it wide. Another inhale, reach it up. And exhale, open it wide. Now from here, wrap your arms around your chest, around your shoulders. Give yourself a loving squeeze. On the next inhale, open your chest wide. As you exhale, take it to the other direction. Again, inhale, open it wide. And this time, allow yourself to come down to all fours. Your palms below your shoulders, your knees below your hips, and just take a moment to circle the hips, your body, your torso over the floor, your knees just beneath your hips, and your hands just beneath your shoulders. Now from here, allow yourself to melt into child's pose. The hips to the heels, the belly between your thighs, your arms extended nice and long, maybe the hands reaching back towards the edge of your mat. Allowing your forehead to melt down towards the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Let your breath inflate your lungs, feeling the spaces between the rib cage. Allow yourself to feel the release of each breath, melting any tension away. Again, inhale. And exhale. From here, let the arms extend nice and long. On the next inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. And then walk your hands forward, dropping the hips down nice and low. Maybe the elbows bend. Maybe you feel the elbows grow long. The shoulders roll back as the crown of the head lifts up to the sky. As you exhale, round back into your child's pose. You find yourself moving to the rhythm of your breath. And inhale, perhaps you rise up. You drop your hips down, the exhale slowly. And inhale as you roll the shoulders back, nice and tall over the crown of your head. And exhale, you sink your hips back into child's pose. Again, inhale to rise up. You drop your hips on the exhale. And inhale again to open your chest. So moving slowly to accommodate each breath. And exhale back down. Again, an inhale as you rise up, and exhale as you pull your belly in, you lower the hips, and inhale to draw open the heart, and an exhale to sink your hips back. One more time. An inhale to rise up, and exhale to shift forward, and inhale to open the heart, and this time as you tuck your toes under, exhale exhale, send the hips to the sky. We take our upside down V, pedaling the heels down and back. Plant the palms firmly. If you need to come to your hands and knees instead on all fours and let your head rest heavy, feel free to do so. So we stretch down through the calves, through the heels, pulling the belly in tight. Allow your heart to melt deeper towards your knees. Maybe the knees bend, maybe the feet go a little wider. The heels can lift tall rather than stretching down towards the floor if you need it. And allow yourself to really feel the length from the fingertips, through the wrists, through the shoulders, all the way up to the back of the hip bones. Shake your head yes, and shake your head no. Maybe the hands walk a little wider. Feel free to take that pose if you find that your shoulder and neck area is a little more compressed. Now from here, softly soften the knees, gaze forward, and begin to gradually walk your way up to the top of the mat. And with your feet a little wider, grab your elbows. We bend the knees, the belly between your thighs. And you gradually move from side to side. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the arms sway forward and back. Allow the arms to loosen. Allow the shoulders to relax. And then from here, take your left palm to the right calf. As you inhale, maybe a little bend to the left knees. You bring the right hand to your hip. Your gaze is to the right wall. So pivoting over. See if you can grow a little longer from the hip bone all the way through the crown of the head. As you exhale, lower yourself down. The right hand to the left calf. The left hand to the hip. As you reach open through that left side, the right knee bends. Just try to find nice length from the left heel all the way up to the hip. As you exhale, lower yourself down. Now from here on the inhale, rise up nice and tall. We lift the arms up, open to the sky. As you exhale, lower yourself back down. On the next inhale, lift up halfway. As you exhale, melt down. Again, belly to the thighs. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, grab your elbows, feel free to sway from side to side, feel free to shake your head yes, to shake your head no. And again, bring the left hand to the right calf, the right hand to your hip. As you bend the left knee, you reach open, so lengthening from the right heel all the way to the hip, and stretching from the hip all the way through the crown of the head. Open the heart. As you exhale, lower back down. Same thing on the opposite side, the right hand to the left calf. And we're stretching from the heel all the way to the hip all the way to the crown, bending the right knee, the left hand to the hip. Pull the belly in and open your chest, nice and wide. As you exhale, lower back down. And again, from here, you roll your way up, nice and tall, extending all the way up and open to the sky. As you exhale, lower back down. And inhale to lift up halfway, stretching long through the spine, the shoulders roll back. Imagine here as you feel yourself through the spine, that the shoulder blades flatten into your backside. As you exhale, melt down again. Grabbing your elbows, shake your head yes, and shake your head no, and sway from side to side. So gradually creating space through the side body, through the spine, the left hand to the right shin. And again, the right hand to your hip as you bend the left knee and you sweep your chest open. Imagine that your heart is pressing forward. Imagine that the collar opens wider. As you exhale, lower back down. Switching sides, the left hand to the right hand to the left calf. And you open through that left side, opening wide through the collar. As you exhale, lower back down. And again, on an inhale, you rise up, extending all the way up to the sky. Nice and wide. As you exhale, lower yourself back down. And again, an inhale here. Halfway lift, stretching long. And then exhale once again. So you shake your head yes and no, allowing yourself to gradually warm up through the spine. Last time through, left hand to the calf. Right hand to the hip. As you open, 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 maybe from here you feel your arms stretching nice and wide. You pull your belly in, the crown of the head lengthens tall. As you exhale, take it to the other side. Right hand to the left calf, and you stretch open, maybe finishing tall through the arms. As you exhale, lower back down. Again, on the next inhale, you roll tall, extending open through the spine, through the chest. As you exhale, lower back down. And inhale to lift up halfway, stretching long and flat through the back. As you exhale, plant the hands. And we step the feet back. And we come into the top of the push-up and then down to the knees. The hips stay flat. Rather than letting the hips kick back, we allow the belly to pull in, creating a nice long line from the knee through the crown of the head. And then from here, lower down, hugging the elbows to your side. The palms are flat, the fingers spaced apart, and we lower the chest. On the next inhale, the toes turning back, nice and flat into the earth, squeezing the backside, squeezing the thighs in. We hug the spine towards we hug the muscles towards the spine and rise up. Whether the palms are off the ground, whether the hands are pressing down to help assist this press up, we feel the chest opening wide. The crown is long, the shoulders and neck relaxed. On the exhale, lower down and send the hips back into child's pose. And just feel your breath moving. Feel the space between the ribs. Feel the stretch underneath the arms. Feel the breath moving into the ribs, into your belly. And the next inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. From here, tuck your toes under. As you exhale, send the hips up to the sky. Once again, downward facing dog. Now from here, soften the knees and gaze forward. We step to the top of the mat. Feel free to take multiple steps, or if you'd like to float, feel free to float up. Halfway lift. Now if you have some blocks, feel free to grab the blocks if you need them. Not for now, but just for a little bit later. And then you exhale and forward fold. Grab the back of your calves and see if you can pull your chest down towards the knees, maybe allowing the belly and the thighs to melt a little deeper, a little closer together. The crown of the head, the very top of the skull, loosens all the way down towards the earth. And you shake your head yes and no. Now from here, bend the knees, let the hips sink back, and an inhale to extend the arms out to the sky. We come into this chair pose. The shoulders are down and back. You feel yourself, the weight evenly between the balls of your feet and the heels. Maybe lifting the toes up, you stretch everything down, flattening yourself into the earth, feeling yourself grounded. You feel your thighs engaging, the pelvic floor lifting, the belly pulling in, the shoulders rolling back. If extending your arms is not suitable for your body, feel free to bring your palms together and your heart pressing towards your thumbs. Let your gaze soften. Let your shoulders melt. Maybe you close your eyes and you sink into this pose. You sink into the sensations that you feel. Try not to resist. And try not to be reactive. And then when you're ready, on the exhale, forward fold. Now on the inhale, lift up halfway. You can use your blocks here. As you exhale, plant the hands. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Now feel free, if you find that your stance is a little shorter, to wiggle it back. The blocks underneath the hands help you to lift up a little taller. And begin to sink your hips down a little deeper. Find a nice little stretch. See if you can relax the shoulders. See if you can feel the neck growing longer. And then when you're ready, plant the hands to the walk them forward, step up halfway, or step up and lift halfway, and then plant the hands and step the right leg back. Just finding a nice little stretch. Maybe feeling the foot in the back wiggling a little bit longer towards the back of the mat, letting the hips sink down a little deeper. And then from here, when you're ready, step to the top of the mat and lift up once again. As you exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back. High, and down to your knees, and lower down to the chest. And inhale as you roll your shoulders back, and then exhale into child's pose. Now for child's pose, inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. Let the right leg extend back behind you. And then begin to lower yourself down, maybe halfway, maybe just an inch, and then back up to the top. Lower the right knee down, and then into child's pose. On the next inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. This time the left leg extends back. And maybe lower forward and down an inch or halfway, and then back up, and then onto your knees, child's pose. Again, an inhale as you rise up. And let's try that again. The right leg extends, the belly hugs in tight. You shift forward, maybe a slight bend, maybe a deeper bend, and then back up, and then lower the knee, child's pose. And inhale, from here, rising up, the left leg extends back, a shift forward, maybe slowly, maybe halfway, maybe just an inch down. And inhale to rise up, and then again shift forward. This time with the toes tucked under on the opposite leg. See if you can lift yourself up to the sky. Come into our three-legged dog. As you exhale, step your foot forward. If your foot falls short like this, grab your ankle, help it up. Another option here is to lower the knee and to assist the foot forward. And we come down to the knee from here. And inhale as you open through the right arm. A kneeling dragonfly twist, keeping the shoulders down, the neck long and tall. And then as you exhale, lower the right hand to the inside of the right leg. Coming into our lizard lunge. You can stay high on your palms, or you can come down to your forearms. Now using your block if needed, you can walk your hands back, stretching through the front leg, and then shift your way forward, stepping it back into your downward dog, and then back onto your knees, and into your child's pose. And the next inhale, rise up to your hands and knees. The left leg extends back. And again, you shift forward, tucking the toes under from the opposite leg. We lift tall, the left leg to the sky. Now as you're here, you lift the heel, and then you let the toes follow. As you exhale, step forward. And again, if you fall short, grab your ankle, help it up. Try to use your core to help lengthen and lift your foot all the way up to the top of the mat. Now again, from here, we sink down through the hips, lowering through the knee. And inhale, we open through the left arm. A dragonfly twist with the kneeling back leg. And then from here, lower the hands down to the inside of the left foot. If you need to use your block, feel free to use your blocks. Feel free to stand your palms. Feel free to come down to your hands or your elbows, all the way to the floor. And then from here, palms to the floor, sink the hips back. Just slightly before shifting forward and bending the front knee and stepping the front leg back. Downward facing dog to continue stretching through the back of the leg, to continue feeling the shoulder blades engaging together. The chest is open, your heart towards your thighs, and then you sink back down to child's pose. And once again, you rise up to your hands and knees. The right leg extends back. Whether you shift forward deeply or slightly, the toes tuck under, and you lift the right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, step your foot through. And then you lower the hips and the back knee. And inhale to reach the right arm to the sky. And an exhale to lower the hand to the inside of the foot. From here, you sink your hips back, whether you use a block or no block. And then when you're ready, shift forward, step the front leg back, downward facing dog. The palms are flat, the fingers space wide. You feel your heart melting towards the thighs, and then shift down to your knees and into your child's pose. And the next inhale, rise up. The left leg extends back, and you shift forward, tucking the toes under. The left leg lifts up to the sky. As you exhale, step it through between your palms, and you sink the hips down. You inhale, open through that left arm. As you exhale, lower down through your elbow, through the palm, coming into your lizard lunge. And then when you're ready, palms to the ground, shift the weight back to shift the weight forward and step it down and back. Now from here, soften the knees, gaze forward, exhale, step to the top of the mat. You lift up halfway, and really focus on this pose. This is Ardha Uttanasana. This is our half lift. From this half lift, feel your belly pulling in. Feel your backside flattening, rather than feeling the shoulders rounding forward, where you feel like your head and everything is heavy towards the ground. See if you can maybe bend the knees slightly. And then from here, feel yourself growing lighter through the shoulder blades, growing lighter through the back of the chest, just right here all the way up, feeling more open through the sternum, through the collar, almost feeling as if you're lengthening forward through the crown of your head. The hands can rest on top of your knees, gently resting, maybe pressing slightly upward, so that you feel yourself levering up, nice and long, nice and open through the heart. As you exhale from here, melt down. Now you feel yourself relaxing. The head shakes yes, the head shakes no. You bend the knees, and you sink the hips. Another inhale to reach up into chair pose. And from here again, if you feel the need to bring your palms together, bring the palms together. Bring the heart forward towards your thumbs. And allow yourself to open and engage. To feel yourself closing your eyes. To feel yourself anchoring down nice and low. Breathing in, breathing out. If you're here with your arms extended, and it feels uncomfortable through the shoulders, maybe you find that your traps start to engage, your upper back starts to feel really tight and tense, let the elbows bend and feel a little bit looser, feel a little bit wider, rather than being compressed through the shoulders, through the arms. And then as you exhale, palms together, and then grow tall. Shoulders are down and back. Closing your eyes, maybe the big toes touch and the heels are slightly apart. And we step up to the top of the mat. With the palms together and the thumbs to your heart, with your eyes closed and the 4 points of your feet connected to the ground, feel your inner thighs slightly engaged. Activate the pelvic floor of your hips. Pull your belly in closer to hug the organs within your belly space. Allow the crown to lengthen taller, the shoulders to widen. And just notice the breath. So we feel ourselves rooting down into the earth to lengthen tall through the crown. Now on the next inhale, release the hands and circle the arms up to the sky, gazing up towards the palms. As you exhale, forward fold all the way down. As you inhale, lift up halfway. Once again, stretching long through the spine. As you exhale, plant the palms and this time step the left foot back. With the left foot back, spiral the back heel towards the earth, pivoting your toes towards the long edge of the mat, keeping the front knee bent and the toes pointing forward. Reverse the warrior. So the left hand reaches back behind you and the right arm pinwheels up overhead. Now as you're here, feel yourself stretching long through the right side. Feel yourself anchoring down, pressing down through the pinky side edges of both feet. Imagine that the thighs are opening and anchoring down, the outer edges of the thighs and the calves engaged. And imagine that you're also squeezing your inner thighs, pulling everything in. And then as you exhale, bring the right elbow towards the right knee. Just a nice little bend, light movement. Maybe the left hand stays to the hip. Maybe the left arm reaches up to the sky. Or perhaps the left bicep comes next to the left ear. And then on the next inhale, we reach up, straightening through the right side, the right fingertips up. And then as you exhale, reach the right arm forward. Now as you reach the right arm forward, feel as if you're creating some space. So I like to call this the Jane Fonda. We're just kind of reaching forward. Imagine that you're just trying to find some movement through the spine, keeping your lower half still, and then lower the right hand down. It doesn't have to touch the floor. It can come down, resting to the inside of the shin. If you have your block, you can use your block and press your palm against it, but we're not trying to rest and collapse down. We're just using this as an anchoring point to almost feel like it's helping to stabilize our body, almost like training wheels. So as you press down through the right palm and you're pressing the tips of your fingernails into your calf, see if you can use that to open and rotate your chest. You're rotating your heart so that's pressing and opening towards the wall in front of you. And then from here, if your arm is comfortable lifting up, feel free to lift it up. Now if it's not comfortable, whether it's from your shoulder or your neck, feel free to keep your hand down on your hip. Now to come up, gaze down and soften the knee. This gives you a little bit of movement, a little flex to rise up, coming into star pose. Now from star pose, we pivot. The toes are towards the corners of the mat, feeling yourself open. And then as you exhale, squat down into our goddess pose. Now from here, let's take a temple pose. Right hand, right elbow to the right thigh or the hip crease, and then we extend up and over. As you exhale, lower back down. Inhale, twist up again. So let's try that one more time. Exhale, elbow down. Inhale, side stretch to the right. Exhale, back down. Inhale, side stretch to the left. Now from here, we continue moving to this left direction, pivoting the right foot in so that the heel comes up, bringing the palms together. Hook your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Now as you hook your elbow to the outside of the left knee, as you hook this elbow, we're not trying to squish everything so that the thumbs and the heart connect, where you feel like you're having to squish it down. Instead, hook your elbow, let everything here rest, and then squeezing your abs, squeezing your thighs, squeezing your inner parts of your legs and your hips, pull your core in, and let the heart try to connect to your thumbs. So rather than pushing your hands in, keep your hands as they are and use the core. Now if that's uncomfortable to go as low, feel free to come up a little higher. So if you're pregnant, maybe you're up high and you twist here. Maybe if you don't have that range of motion, you work on letting yourself achieve the twist first before lowering down. Now from here, keeping the front knee bent, unravel the left or the right hand behind you, twisting the back heel down, left arm to the sky. As you exhale, lower the hands, both of them towards the floor. An inhale to kick your back leg up. As you exhale, lower the foot. An inhale drives your hips down and opens your heart to the front. I guess you can say to the back. And we hold this. Pause for just a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, palms together, thumbs to your heart, coming into our standing mountain pose. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, a little bit more light. All right, so from here, on the next inhale, let the arms circle up and over. As you exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, lift up halfway. Taking the opposite leg, plant the hands, step the right leg back. Now again from here, pivot that right heel in. So the back toes point to the long edge as the front toes point towards the back edge. And then bending the front knee, windmill the right hand behind you as the left arm reaches up overhead, reversing the warrior. So as you're here, it's almost like you're trying to create this nice open book with the thighs. You're pressing into the outer edges of the feet. We have the muscles that are allowing us to do this. These are the sartorius muscles that cross from the inner thigh, inner knee towards the outer edges of the hips. And so from here, we're trying to open it up, and not just opening up, but we're trying to squeeze everything in as well. So that pelvic floor is constantly engaged here, trying to squeeze the muscles in and upward. And we're opening up through the chest. We're lifting and opening up through the heart. Nice and tall through the fingers, gazing up. As you exhale, bring the left elbow to the left thigh. And again, it's light here. And if you have a block, you can use a block. If you're here, allow yourself to twist open. Reach the top hand back behind you. And this will help you to engage and open through the thigh, engage and open through the heart. We're rotating our chest towards the wall in front of us. And maybe from here, the arms lifts up to the sky. Maybe the right bicep is next to the right ear. Whatever feels good. On the next inhale, we extend the front leg. The left arm reaches up. This is a reverse triangle pose. Now notice that my back hand reaches back behind me towards that opposite pocket. And again, this helps me to rotate my chest open, along with the same direction of the mat, as well as my legs. So I'm rotating this open and stretching through that left side body. And then as I exhale, I reach forward. And again, we're trying to create this space. This is our extended triangle pose. So reaching forward. There's a point where we can no longer reach. Where instead of just going straight down, we're trying to find this extension. So we lengthen, and then from here, you lower. And whether you have a block beneath you, or whether you have your hand almost down to the floor or down to the floor, if you find that your heart begins to drop downward, see how it feels to come up a little higher. See how it feels to open up your chest, to rotate, to pull the head back rather than collapsing towards the earth. Notice how that feels. And then from here, maybe you find an extension. And then to come out of this, gaze at your bottom toes, soften the knee, and rise up. And again, we come into our star pose. We pivot the toes in, out, with the heels in. And then we exhale into our goddess pose. Now from this goddess pose, we feel the thighs opening. And really, it's all about the knees and the direction from the hips. And then the toes can adjust so that you're comfortable, rather than pointing the toes in one direction and forcing the knees to go out. We're allowing the bigger joints that are less mobile than the ankles to choose and guide the direction of what is more mobile. So we take the left elbow
to the left thigh. Temple pose, and inhale, stretching through the right rib cage. As you exhale, lower the right elbow down, and inhale, we stretch to the left side. Exhale, back down. One more time. Inhale, stretch up and open. Exhale, back down. And again, inhale, stretch to the left side. Now from here, continue that stretch, lengthening that back leg. And then we're going to pivot over. As we pivot, the palms connect. You hook your elbow first. And then from there, bring your heart to your thumb. So you have to pull the belly in. You have to squeeze your glutes, and you have to squeeze those thighs in. Rather than feeling like everything is falling apart, you're trying to engage and trying to recruit all those muscles. You're trying to hone in on channeling that energy. Imagine that you're shooting a ray of energy from the heel all the way to the crown of your head. One line. The palms together, the thumbs stay as they are, but you're trying to bring your heart to those thumbs. And then from here, you unhook your elbow. And again, you pivot the back heel down. Windmilling your left hand back, the right arm reaches up to the sky. Reversing the warrior. As you exhale, lower the hands. Lift the back leg up, nice and tall. And then as you exhale, lower the foot. We take a bend to the knee, dropping the hips, and inhale, we sweep the arms out to the sky. Shoulders down and back. And then from here, palms together, thumbs to your heart. When you're ready, take a sip of water if you need it. Now, feel free to stand wherever you feel comfortable. Now take a moment here to find yourself in a nice, stable, nice, comfortable pose. So the shoulders pull down, let the chest open, maybe the hands are by your side with the fingers driving down towards the earth. And rather than just standing, feel yourself grounding. Feel yourself actually creating some roots. And you feel yourself, as you anchor down, a little stronger, a little more stable, creating this nice strength through the inner core. Now I'm going to pivot towards the side so you can see what is happening in the body. Now ideally, palm is open. And I think that we see in photos so many different variations when it comes to our dancer's pose, where the palm is open or the palm is forward folded. And my personal preference, and this is just all based off of the anatomy of the body, is that when the palm is open and you find a bind, you bind your hand to your foot, and you kick your foot back and open, that everything else begins to open, that you're able to create this space where we're not continuing to focus on this roundedness through the shoulder. Because most of the time, I think that as a society here in America, or usually any first world countries, that we find the posture actually starts to round forward from driving, from typing, from all that. So I'm really trying to focus and emphasize this space opening up, so the heart space, really. So palm is up, thumb is pointing back, and then lower the hand down. And for some of us that find we have tight frontal delt, and that's your shoulder muscle, or tight biceps, or tight forearms, that this can be a little bit of a hardship for some of us, and so it's just a matter of working at it. So as you're here, balance on the left side. And then from here, bring your foot up and find balance. Try to grab your foot from the inside of your arch, so where your big toe is. Now again, this can be difficult for different people at different levels of getting to this ultimate pose of the dancer pose. So maybe this is where you stop. Maybe you already find that there's a huge stretch from the pec, your chest, all the way to your bicep, to your wrist, and that's okay. And just stay there. Now, if you'd like to continue, Feel free to lift the opposite hand up to the sky. Now to find a counterbalance, it's not collapsing down, but rather you're kicking. You're creating some tension here, like you're drawing a bow from a bow and arrow. You're drawing it back, so create that tension. And as you create that tension, your body will naturally begin to try to counterbalance. So your upper half will naturally begin to lower down, trying to find that balance. So this is where you find your drishti. You're gazing forward, focusing on a point ahead of you, and this is your practice. Focusing and finding that breath. And if you lose your balance, that's okay. This is a practice that is a practice. So the more we fail, the more we fall, the better tuned in we are. And then when you're ready, bring everything back in and lower the foot. So from here, we take it to the other side. So once again, the left hand opens with the thumb pointing out. From here, find a balance on the right foot. The inside foot comes up, binding your hand to that foot through the arch, through the big toe. We allow ourselves to ground down through the body leg, like roots that are growing through the trees that you see outside. And then from here, you feel your belly squeezing in. If you find you're ready to try and move into dancer's pose, lift the opposite hand up. From here, kick your foot back, and again, focus forward. This is your drishti. And begin to kick back, allow yourself to find balance. So coming into this balance and holding it is more about the focus on your breath. And then from here, when you're ready, reach back up and then release. And then from here, circle the arms up and over. As you exhale, forward fold. On the next inhale, lift up halfway. Heel toe your feet closer together, and then exhale, melt down. Now from here, come into a yoga squat. Sink your hips low. And for some of you who may have a difficult time with your heels wanting to lift up, you have a block if you have it. Use that to sit your butt on. And you can bring your palms together with your thumbs to your heart, heart to your thumbs. Let the shoulders roll back. And feel yourself finding this open space through the sternum, through the collar. If you don't need the block, feel free to sink yourself down. To square your hips up, to drive the hips downward, to grow taller through the spine. And then when you're ready, lower the hands, lift the hips, ground down through the soles, grab your elbows, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Gently sway from side to side. Let the arms grow loose. Halfway lift again, and then carefully step it back. Now from here, coming down to your hands and knees, feel yourself taking whatever movements feel organic to you. And inhale as you open the chest, and exhale as you round back. Some side bends, maybe you circle your hips down and back up in one direction, maybe down and back up in the other. And from here, come down to your bottom. Let the legs, let the limbs extend out in front of you. For those who may have a little bit of issues with the flexibility in your back and your hamstrings through the calves, Feel free to grab a strap, to grab maybe an extended towel, or if you have a yoga strap for your mat, you can grab that. Let me grab something here. So, flexing your toes up towards the sky, you can use the strap and wrap it around the base of your feet. And then from here, you're going to grow tall and tall and tall, shoulders down and back. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold forward at the hips. Now, if you have a hard time from here sitting upright, then you don't have to fold forward. Instead, you can always try to maybe bend the knees and grow taller here. Or if you find that your back is really, really rounded, grab a block and sit on the block. And that'll give you actually a little bit more space so that you have that lift away from the floor so you can feel your legs grow a little longer. And again, as you're here, rather than pulling forward, rounding, and really trying to force your way down, just let it fold at the hips, let it hinge. And it doesn't have to be a deep bend. You can get as much out of this just by being very conscious, being very mindful, letting yourself relax through the shoulders, and just finding that simple bend here through the hips. So holding this for as long as you'd like, a breath in and a breath out. The shoulders roll back, nice and tall, lifting through the crown, grounding through your sitting bones. And then from here, when you're ready, roll your way up. Now this time, bring your right leg nice and long. Take your left foot to the inside of the thigh. We're going to go through a few little movements here. On the inhale, again, you're flexing your foot up towards the ceiling. Lift the arms up overhead. As you exhale, melt down. Whether you grab your calf, whether you grab your ankle, whether you bind your hands around the base of your foot, let yourself bring the crown forward. Now releasing your left hand behind you, keeping your left knee down as well as pointing your right toe forward. See if you can lift the hips. So both feet down, hips are high, and then exhale, fold a little deeper. Again, inhale, release the left hand back, reach up to the ceiling or back behind you, and then exhale, fold forward. Again, last time, reach the left hand back, inhale the arms up, and then exhale, let yourself fold. We take it through to the other side. This time the left leg is extended out. The right foot is in towards your inner thigh. And you grow tall through the spine. You point your toe up towards the ceiling. Inhale, we grow tall through the arms. Exhale, we fold forward. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Feeling less strain through the shoulders and the upper back. And more of that hinge here at the hips. From here, the right hand reaches back. The left toes point forward, keeping both feet grounded. Lift the hips tall. And then you exhale and sink the hips and fold forward. Again, the right hand behind you. And inhale to lift up. And exhale to sink into fold. One more and last time. Right hand back. Lift through the hips, and this time feel free to hold this fold for a little longer. When you're ready to rise up, feel free to rise up. scooting down on your mat. Let yourself lower down. Maybe from here, the hips sink, the knees are bent, the arms by your side. See if you can flatten your shoulder blades into the earth. Feel free to lift the palms up if that's comfortable. If it's uncomfortable, then get to where it's comfortable. Now, from here, with the soles of your feet, without hip width apart, take an inhale to lift up through the hips. If you would like to take your block and anchor it below your hips, where your sacrum and your hips meet, so that's your back, the lowest part of your back, your spine. And then where your hips connect, feel free to let your hips rest right there. If you would rather simply hold it, just hold it for maybe 10, maybe 8 breaths. Just notice how it feels. Feel free to adjust the position of your legs. You can have them as they are, neutral. You can lengthen them one at a time or both. And then after that, maybe as you arrive towards your 8th or 10th breath, you eventually lift up on an inhale, and as you exhale, start from the top of the spine. And begin to lower down between the shoulder blades, through the mid-back, through the low back, until your hips and your glutes touch. You hug your knees towards your heart, and you open the thighs wide. This is your happy baby, grabbing your ankles, grabbing your calves, your toes, or your feet, and gently rock from side to side. Now, if you're able to bind your fingers around the toes, feel free to bind the fingers around the toes and pull your feet towards your center. Take your right foot and open it out to the side. For some of you, maybe the knee can straighten. For some of you, maybe the knee stays bent. So again, without being reactive, just find that space again, not to where you're to the point of pain, but just enjoying that little bit of discomfort. Now, if you find that you extend the leg and you're really drifting to that one side, gaze towards the opposite elbow, or the knee, or the shoulder. And then when you're ready, bring your foot in as you extend it towards the other side. So you alternate the direction. Again, if you find that you're drifting to that one side, see if you can shift your gaze to find that counterbalance. And then you pull yourself back in and offer yourself a hug. Maybe you cross at the ankles here, grabbing your opposite ankle, and give yourself a little squeeze in one direction, rocking from side to side. And then you open your legs and then cross in the opposite direction. One side may feel more natural than the other. And then from here, open your arms wide. And you take a spinal twist. Feel free to rest in one direction. You can actually use your blocks to help assist you if you find that maybe you need that space, that support between your legs here. Or if you can't go all the way, you can find a rest here. So wherever you find yourself at ease, let yourself relax. Let your shoulders become softer. Let your eyes close. Let your breath move naturally and slowly. Relax your palms. Relax your fingers. into your lungs, into your belly. Creating space with each inhale. Allowing yourself to let go with every exhale. Inviting a softness into your body. Softness into your mind. And softness into your heart. When you're ready, releasing your block. Coming back to center, give yourself one final hug, one final squeeze, and let your legs extend down the length of the mat. Breathe in fully. Letting go slowly. Feel free to let your Shavasana be as long as you choose to be. For those who are ready to come out of it, gradually find to stretch the limbs. Curl your knees towards your chest. Giving yourself a loving hug. Gently rock from side to side and transition into a fetal pose to one side. This transition from Shavasana or corpse pose into fetal pose is a reminder that with all endings comes a new beginning. From here, press up into a simple seat. Bring yourself nice and tall, the palms connecting towards your heart. We bow down our heads with gratitude. You find humility. You find that each breath connects each one of us, knowing that we're all riding this wave together. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you all being here and taking part in this practice, and I hope that I see you again soon. Take care.